The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
All right, everybody, ladies, and thank you for joining us here today. The podcast show for Buckle Bomb Entertainment. Going solo here tonight, at least for the moment. We've had a very big week in wrestling, first week of the new year. Let's start out with WWE. Didn't have a pay-per-view over the weekend for WWE, but they have their New Year's specials. So we had Raw Day 1. That was big. Really felt like a really good show. We had the main event, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the title. Damian Priest went to cash in. That was a great match. Do you feel Drew got screwed out of that? Or was it just pure random luck? Damian Priest going to cash in his Money in the Bank contract. But we saw Drew McIntyre kind of spoil that for him. Let's see, what else happened on Raw? Well, regardless, it wasn't a bad show. Oh, yes, Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile. That was a great match. I think Ivy Nile, she continues to sharpen her skills up a little bit. We could see her become a women's champion in WWE relatively soon. Did I move from home office? No, this is my typical home office. I don't usually film in here. Usually I'm filming in my living room. But I have a new upgraded computer, so I can actually film in here now. I'm actually testing. Previously, my old computer, my old laptop, I wasn't getting a strong enough signal to film in here. But the new one, I seem to be getting a pretty good, stable connection. I'm able to stream on my laptop, it seems. So I'm going to continue with that. The light in here is really strong. I'm going to have to work on getting that toned down a little bit. Brian saying Drew and Seth was decent. Yeah. Probably at least one of the top 2 matches of the night. World's End was my next topic. Oh, I know we're still on WWE. NXT had New Year's Evil. I watched that today. I don't typically watch NXT so much anymore, for reasons I won't get into here on the show at the moment. Interesting choice to go with Lyra Valkyria versus Blair Davenport for the opening match. Lyra is good in my opinion. I just don't know if she's at championship caliber material yet. But we'll see, we'll see how she continues to work with it. Carlito making an appearance. And Obafemi versus Riley Osborne in the men's final for the Breakout Star. I hadn't really seen either of these two perform. I haven't watched in a few weeks. Obafemi, he looks like he's going to be a big monster. He continues to sharpen up his skills, continues to work on his craft. He can be a big player someday. Yeah, not enough character work. Yeah, I mean, this is where they're working on their characters, so we'll see as they develop over the next few months. Main event, Carmelo Hayes kind of got Trick Williams involved in a match with Grayson Waller for his #1 contendership on the line. Great match by the two. Grayson Waller is great. Trick Williams is going to be a star one day, I believe. And let me tell you, if that Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams rivalry when that comes to a full-on rivalry, that's going to be a great feud. Tonight, WWE had their, I guess, preview show. I think that's new, where they're announcing some stuff. We did get the announcement today for in Toronto, Money in the Bank, which is usually right on my birthday. This year's a week after my birthday. We are getting, or Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Canada is getting Money in the Bank weekend. They're getting SmackDown. They're getting Money in the Bank, and they're also getting NXT. We'll have a pay-per-view, or premium live event on Sunday. So that will be interesting for to see how that plays out all weekend. Kind of wondering what a whole package deal for all three events will be. I might look into that. Toronto's a little far, so I wouldn't take it into major consideration, but just kind of curious as well. And then tomorrow, SmackDown, they have a New Year's Revolution theme for their show. We're going to see Santos Escobar and Kevin Owens, see who gets to face Logan Paul at Royal Rumble. Kind of feel like it's going to be Kevin Owens, since they've been building that up for a bit. So topic number 2, AEW's World's End pay-per-view over the weekend. Was a decent show. Was it hit or miss? It feels like one of those shows where the top was really good, but the bottom was very lackluster. I think a lot of people were really expecting some big surprises that maybe we didn't really exactly get. I know some people were expecting some debuts that we didn't get. Eddie Kingston winning the Continental Classic, great. Love Eddie Kingston. Great for mental health awareness. Great. Great win for him. I'm so happy for him. Main event, we see Samoa Joe finally win a world title again. Man, nobody's worked harder past few years to get a world title than him. Well, maybe, but certainly can't say that Samoa Joe doesn't deserve a world title run before he retires. Great showing from him and MJF. Great title match. Can't wait to see what Joe's reign of terror is going to look like in AEW. Of course, after we get the revealing of the Devil and the Masked Men, which is now known as United Kingdom. Adam Cole was the Devil. It seemed like one of those things, where it's going to be, this is so obvious that it's Adam Cole, that it can't be Adam Cole. So, of course, everybody's speculating, it's got to be Britt Baker, it's going to be Swerve, it's going to be this person or that person. When all along the clues were right there in front of us, and that, yes, it was Adam Cole. The Kingdoms, Mike Bennett, Roderick Strong, Matt Taven. Those are, and then Wardlow as well. And man, already putting the seeds in for Wardlow to leave, by Adam Cole saying that he would get the title from Wardlow eventually when he's able to, that Wardlow would just hand it over. I don't see Wardlow handing it right over. Maybe that's when Kyle O'Reilly's ready to come back, if he's ever able to come back. I know he's had some setbacks, so we will see how that goes. Will Adam Cole, the interesting topic, day after, boom, MJF off the roster. Is he gone? We've heard the campaign, the bidding war of 2024. I don't think there's going to be a bidding war. It just seems like he's already signed. Agent for WWE already said, of course, take it for face value. There was no talks. Really, that they would be able to bring him in. Plus, with Adam Cole mentioning on Dynamite this week, the person along here, just the way they kept bringing him up, it just seems like MJF's going to take a few weeks off, maybe a month to 2 months, just to kind of heal up. He's had some injuries. He's got to, kind of recover, sell the fact that he's gone, and then come back. Next up, our Blasty categories. We, as a staff here, working on our nominations. The one thing I love when we do the Blasties, Buckle Bomb, we have our own personal, winners, and we've also got the fan vote. So we shall see. We're finalizing up our nominations on Saturday. Sunday we'll release the fan vote forms. So you all can vote for. It'll be between 5 days and 7 days. We'll see. But let's go over the categories. I don't have the graphics up to show you. But here is this year's categories. We have 3, 5. We have 19 categories this year, and I might be missing one for the graphics. So I will, if I'm missing any, I will let you know. We have the comeback wrestler of the year. We will have the best commentator of the year, the best faction of the year, the best female athlete of the year, the best female breakout star of the year. We have the best indies female athlete of the year, the best male athlete of the year, the best breakout male star of the year, the best indies male athlete, the indies match of the year, the indie promotion of the year, the mainstream match of the year, which is mainstream we're kind of considering. It's going to be your WWE, AEW Ring of Honor, Impact, now known as TNA, and New Japan. Those will be your mainstream. Even New Japan maybe could be either way. We'll discuss that. The best pay-per-view / premium live event of the year, the best weekly TV show of the year, the best tag team of the year, best ring announcer, best promotion, the by God, he's broken in half, the holy shit moment of the year, and we also have the Golden Mike, the promo artist of the year, and we are also doing the ref of the year. Caleb saying he can't wait for the awards. Yep, it's always a great event for us every year. One we love doing. This year is going to be no exception. We've organized it on our end a little bit more this year, so we can't wait as well. Let us know in the comments, who your early favorites are. We got some categories that are going to be really tough, and then some that should be a runaway. Also new that we are introducing in 2024. You see in other sports leagues, sports writers, newspapers, match rankings, or not match rankings, excuse me. Power rankings. You see it in Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA all the time. Which team each week is climbing up the power rankings, who's falling. Buckle Bomb's going to do that for wrestlers each week, or, we're going to grade it based on each show. But we'll release our power rankings twice a month. So we'll do a mid-month power rankings every month and a end of the month. Right now, to be eligible for the power rankings, it's going to be WWE's 2 main shows, Raw and SmackDown, AEW's 3 main shows, Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage, Impact weekly TV show as well, and as well as their monthly pay-per-views. NXT and Ring of Honor, we may do in a separate poll, or just kind of keep an eye on them, and if they move up to a main roster, bring it that way. The reason we're kind of not considering NXT is because it's well known as more of their developmental. And then Ring of Honor isn't on network TV, so we might not include their weekly show, but we'll include pay-per-views for them maybe. And you can see right here we got it worked out how points will go. So TV matches, you win 3 points. A loss is a point. Draws half a point. If you're in the main event of a TV show, you get an additional half a point. If you're on an interview segment or vignette, an additional quarter point. A title win on TV is an additional point. Pay-per-views, they're more prestigious. They're going to be worth more points. 5 points for a pay-per-view match win. Loss is 1.5. Draw will be 0.75 points. Same with main eventing. You get a bonus 0.75 points. An interview or a vignette on a pay-per-view will be worth 0.33 points. And a title win on a pay-per-view will be worth 2 points. So this will be fun to kind of keep along. You'll probably see rankings jumbled up the first month and a half because it's going to be hard to stack appearances after appearances. But we'll see how this goes for this year. Thank you, Caleb, for saying that's a great idea. Really appreciate it. And of course, if we find ways to improve it or do decide to include other items in the power rankings, we'll be sure to get into that. Personal goals for the new year. Personal goals, I think we're going to try to boost up our social media presence. We want to triple all our followers. That includes YouTube subscribers, Facebook followers, Twitter followers, TikTok followers. We want to boost it all up there. Let's make this the year of the buckle bomb. Last year we kind of, I don't want to say we slacked. We kind of took a mental health kind of approach for maybe half the year, maybe a little more than half the year off. We're going to come in strong early, and we're going to keep going strong all year. Wrestle Kingdom was last night, early morning, depending how you want to look at it. I haven't watched it yet. Brian, if you're still in the comments, I know you watched it. You said, it was a great show. I'm probably going to try to watch it this weekend, or at least the matches that really, really caught my eye. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Title match. Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney versus Catch 22, Francisco Akira and TJP. I heard that was a really good match. The New Japan World Television title match, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. That is a match I want to see. There's a singles match. I couldn't even begin to pronounce these two last names. But Yoda versus Yuya. Tag team match, Kaito Kiyomiya and Shota Umoni versus House of Torture, which is Evil and Ren Narita. Normally I wouldn't even be given a second thought to New Japan, but I think one great thing that AEW does is they introduce, even some casual wrestling fans to who these New Japan wrestlers are. So like some of these names, I might not really know their whole library of their work, but I recognize who they are now because of AEW. So now I'm kind of wanting to check out Wrestle Kingdom for the first time. The never openweight title match, Shingo Takagi versus Tama Tonga. I believe Shingo was in AEW once. The name sounds familiar. Tama Tonga, we've heard his name brought up during free agency before. Bishamon versus the Gorillas of Destiny, El Fantasma and Hikulelu. Here's where the next 4 matches, here's where these get really good and really interesting. I'm definitely going to try to catch these 4 matches. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match, Takahashi versus El Desperado. The new IWGP Global Heavyweight Title Triple Threat match. John Moxley, who came out dressed as a Red Hood last night from the comics, David Finlay, and Will Ospreay, who had an amazing cosplay for Assassin's Creed. Even Assassin's Creed tweeted out, that it was a great collaboration. If you don't watch anything from, New Japan, fine, whatever. Go check out his entrance though. Really great. Singles match: Bryan Danielson versus Okada. These guys have put on great matches before. Can't wait to check this one out. Heard it was really good. Them paying respects to each other at the end. And then the main event, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Sonata versus Naito. I'm sure this was really good. Can't wait to check that one out. Caleb, talking about the Buckle Bump pay-per-view league. Yes, we do have a pay-per-view league. Sean Boley won the championship in season 2. His trophy is on the way to him. It's on its way to being delivered. David Michael won the first season. He won a customized title belt. We didn't do the title belt this year. We did do a trophy. Sean will send some pictures in, hopefully, once that arrives within the next week or so. I'm asking if we get trophies. Just the winner's getting a trophy. There will be a couple other prizes in 2 weeks. We will dole out 2 other prizes to the top 10. Yes. Season 3 will start at the Royal Rumble. So anybody that wants to join, search the Buckle Bomb Pay-Per-View League, spelled PPV. We'll throw a link to that in the comments in our discussion group, the Buckle Bomb Entertainment Wrestling Discussion Group. If you're not already in, join. Brian, since I see that you're back, how did you rate Wrestle Kingdom last night? And of course, the pay-per-view league, it is free. We don't charge anything. We do give a couple prizes out for first place, and then 2 random prizes to 2 random drawings in the top 10. All right, so the next category, wish I remember my own categories here. I forget favorite holiday movies. We'll save that for another time. Wrestle Kingdom. Today in history. Yes. So before we wrap it up, Brian saying he rated Wrestle Kingdom 8 out of 10. That's really good. That's really strong. Once I can watch this weekend, we'll get some rankings up for it match by match next week. Brian saying there's definitely 2 matches of the year contenders already, and we are in day 4 of the year. So today, before we cut out for the day, today is the 25-year anniversary of probably one of the worst moments in wrestling history. Some will contribute it to the start of the downfall of wrestling, or WCW, between Kevin Nash and Hollywood Hulk Hogan, was the finger poke of doom. Yes, that was 25 years ago today, January 4th, 1999. What a sham, what a shame. Either of those and many other words that shouldn't be said live on the podcast. If you're not sure what that is, go check it out. Thank you for joining us. We will talk Blasty nominations next week and see what else the wrestling world has for us. Will Mercedes Moné or Mercedes Venado, whatever name she'll sign as, will she sign anywhere? We heard rumors she was close to WWE. Talks failed. We've heard rumors that she's close with AEW. We've heard TNA has earmarked a bunch of money for a big name. Could that big name be Mercedes? Will she debut at Hard to Kill, which is shaping up to be a really great pay-per-view? I believe that is going to be next week. I can't remember the exact date. I think that might be next Friday, maybe next Saturday. TNA also, will be the first. They're actually going by PLEs now this year, to premium live events. So along with rebranding as PLEs, they rebranded as TNA, so no more Impact Wrestling. We will see how that all plays out. Thank you everybody for joining us who was here. Enjoy your rest of the evening, and we will see you next week.